Biafra, superstars, media.
My people, my Biafran people, now how on a day? How on a day today? I say jubilation, congratulation, celebration, and jubilation to the whole of Biafra. May the land of Biafra be praised. My people, now how on a day today? I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending from where you're listening to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media, and I'm holding it down. I say, may God bless Biafra, and may God bless Ududua. May God bless His Excellency Oyendo Mazinamde Kano. May God bless Chief Sunday Igboho and all the freedom fighters from the southeast to the southwest up to the middle belt and our Hausa brothers. If you're ready for your freedom, if you're ready for your liberation, if you're ready to regain the land that was stolen from you by the Fulani cabal, I repeat, if and only if, when you are ready to regain the land that was stolen from you by the Fulani cabal, then may God bless you too. May God bless His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Biafra, His Excellency, ESN, Ekpa, Simon and Joko, for the job you are doing. Simon, I want to say we thank you, we appreciate you, we love you, because we know in your hands, Biafra has come. Oh my God. Revelation has come to pass. The people in Biafra, we shall all come together under one voice, under one union, under one accord, and scream for Hallelujah Day. Revelation 2 has come to pass. If you look in Finland and Latvia right now, we are there celebrating, glorifying the rebirth of Biafra, the redeclaration of Biafra, the birth of a nation. My God, have mercy. Everything I say here comes to pass. I am prophetic. I'm not a prophet. I'm just a servant used by God. When I do these introductions, some of you don't know how it comes through. It comes from a revelation, from the Rema. I got those words. I've been saying it over and over in all my videos. The same way the Israelites, they went round the walls of Jericho. They sang and sang, jubilated, reincarnated, said what they had to say over and over again. And before you know it, the walls of Jericho came down. Today, before your eyes, the people of Biafra, we have come under one voice, under one accord, under one union, under one umbrella, screaming for joy that Biafra has come. My people, before we continue on this one, I just want you all to see what the Zoo are saying. It's so funny. The same Zoo media that when they said Simon Ekpa was, arrested, they all came out. They were talking, they were, bombarding, they were trying to take over the airwaves, trying to take over the airwaves, and they were talking and talking and talking. They competed with the airwaves with the Biafrans, embellishing on the bad news, the so-called bad news of Simon Ekpa being arrested. But now that we are celebrating and we have redeclared our Biafra in Finland, they have kept quiet. In fact, across the whole spectrum of the media in that zoo called Nigeria, you can hear a rat piss on cotton. That's how quiet they are. But some of them are still trying. Some of them from the so-called president's media, TVC News and the rest of them, they are still talking. So today, I just want us to listen to what the zoo are saying before we go to somebody who is an illustrious man, a man who is, known for his highly reputable speech when it comes to history, a foreign affairs analyst, the man known as Michael Rubin. Before we discuss Michael Rubin, let us look at what the Zoo media are saying. Don't forget, this is day 3 of the convention. It is going smoothly. But I said, let me quickly, chip this video in and send it out there. Listen to what the media are saying. They are still coming with the old news. The Zoo will always be the Zoo. My people, if you are ready, make we hear within the Zoo they talk. At least, let's have a taste of what the Zoo are saying concerning our Prime Minister, Mazi Ekpa, Simon and Joko. If you are ready, let's go there. Listen.
Meanwhile, a Finnish district court has fixed May 2025 for the prosecution to file charges against Simon Ekpa. The pro-Biafra agitator was arrested by law enforcement in the northern European nation. He was subsequently sent to prison by the district court of Paidadham for spreading terrorist propaganda on social media. Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, also hinted that his arrest will help in extraditing him to the country. Did you know the French president
Take it back. Let's break it down. This is so funny. Hey, Lord have mercy. In the land of the deaf, dumb, and blind, this is what happens. In the land of the deaf, dumb, and blind, a place where they are ignorant. Deaf, dumb, and blind. DDB. Deaf, dumb, and blind. Oh, they see no evil, they hear no evil, they speak no evil. Despite in their zoo now, the common factor is rice. Any problem you have, once you say give them rice, rice will solve the problem. God have mercy. Rice without oil, rice without tomato, rice without maggi, rice without crayfish, rice without onions. Even fish is a luxury. Chicken is a luxury. How many of them can even eat chicken this Christmas? I heard in Nigeria, they only eat chicken once a year. Christmas time. Very, very sad. You know, this is what we want to change. The liberation we want to bring to Biafra land and those of our neighbors who are also fighting for their freedom, because Biafra will be a shining beacon to the whole world and also to our next door neighbors. Respect to Yoruba nation, respect to the land of Oduduwa, respect to Chief Dr. Sunday Adeyemo, aka Sunday Igboho, respect to my friend, a man that I demand Biafran start to listen to. Respect to Koiki Media. You must listen to Koiki Media and share his videos, because Koiki is a friend of Biafra. He is the real friend of Biafra. Any other person you are listening to, you are wasting your time. Koiki has stood the test of time. At a time of need, he has been there. He has been using his platform to share and propagate this message of Biafra. Even when our own people, those we call our own, people like Dr. Damages, people like Rudolph, all he does is he kept quiet. This same man interviewed Simon Ekpa a few days ago. But now on the main convention, Dr. Rudolph don't pack in shop. His media is closed. They ain't speaking about Simon Ekpa or the so-called, all those rubbish talking about. Also, they're not speaking about the Finland Convention. They ain't speaking about it, my people. Our own brother that has a media. Instead, he's saying Simon Ekpa and his followers, Simon Ekpa and his friends, they went to Finland. Your own brother, Makobi Wanne, for the love of your brother. Your own brother speak this way. My people, our own brother. So today, I want to say, please, all Biafrans, I am demanding on you, the same way Nnamdi Kanu told us to listen to that fool they call Mayegu, the idiots, the imbecile, the type that they want us not to listen to, the type that they want us not to take as friends. Mayegu is a letdown because he said Simon Ekpa kill his own people. Mayegu of all people. I have lost all respect for that idiot, that bastard. And I've told him, wherever I see him, I will spit on his face as a sign of disgrace. I've lost all respect for that guy. He's a green snake in the green grass. That same guy, there was a time he was angry that we called Nigeria a zoo. In his program, he said, how do you call Nigeria a zoo? It's insulting. Don't call him a zoo, it's somehow. But today, Nigeria is worse than a zoo. This same idiot said that. So Biafrans, I'm calling upon you. Follow those that can be trusted in a time of need, in a time of want, at a time when we needed the media. Koiki Media stood up. Yesterday, I was following him for 7 good hours. Since the 29th, 7 good hours. Koiki Media was up there, shedding more light. I was so happy. So I say, we must support Koiki Media. Biafrans, if there is anybody you must support going forward, Koiki Media is the one. He's our friend. He's a friend to Biafra. And because of that, I will play something now that will blow your mind. I will play something now that will blow your mind. Something he said that Nnamdi Kanu told them in a meeting. Because sometimes there's some things we know, we choose not to speak about it. Those who are attacking Simon Ekpa, there are some few things we know, we choose not to speak about it. So at this point, I will show you what Oyendo said in a program. And Koiki today, we thank God, he has come out to say it in the public about what Nnamdi Kanu told them about Simon Ekpa. The naysayers, those who are confused about Simon Ekpa, fall back, listen to what Oyendo told them. He told Koiki and Chief Sunday Igboho in a meeting about Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa was there as well, present. If you are ready, let's go there. Listen.
I gave my assurance to I remember 2021, and let me put this out on record again, that I was in the meeting with Onyedu, Mazi, Nnamdi Kanu, not 3 times, not 4 times. I will leave it like that because it's too confidential. And the only person, and I don't have to swear, the only person he told us about was Simon Ekpa with Igboho. It was not 3 meetings, it was not 4 meetings. And until people start saying, oh, Simon Ekpa, I said, look, you can't be telling me about anything about Simon Ekpa because Nnamdi Kanu himself told us certain things that still remain confidential. But he only said Simon Ekpa should be the one that we should work with. So nobody should come and tell Koiki, please. No. I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to listen to you because some of you don't even have the opportunity to have that such meeting with Nnamdi Kanu. Look at all the Biafrans that are arriving in Finland. I don't want to show the glory picture of the ones that happen in Owo. So when people are coming and say, oh, why are we supporting Simon Ekpa? It's because your leader told us to support him. And he told us we should give him all the full support. And I'm telling you, I've been saying this since 2021. Even before, some of you start attacking us and say, oh, la, 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 la. It is your leader that told me and Igboho to work with Simon Ekpa. But some of you wants to know the nitty-gritty. Do you know the nitty-gritty that happens in government? Do my prime minister here tell me everything that is happening in his government? Do Donald Trump going to tell you everything that is happening in the government? No. So don't expect me to give you all the nitty-gritty. That means that, it's no longer, a confidential. Maybe in the future, it will no longer be confidential. But for now, it is confidential. So stop telling me, oh, why Simon Ekpa? It's because Nnamdi Kanu himself, and he was the one that made the request. I'm calling, those of you that are calling, I want you to be patient. He was the one that made the request, that wanted to speak to Igboho, and may the God of the land, and I have a picture of Nnamdi Kanu and Igboho together, so that, so that when people are coming to say, why are you supporting this Biafra? Well, like I said, they want to go, let them go. It's as simple as that. And that is our own Igboho with Nnamdi Kanu. I know some of even the Biafra skeptical. Igboho has taken him. I'm not going into other areas today.
It was a hard-working situation.
Oh, okay. Let me give you that video coming. I didn't realize I had the video by the background.
Now that you've heard that, my people, now that you've heard that, let us now fall back and break down what this lady said before we move to our great man, a good friend of Biafra, Michael Rubin. If you're ready, let's go. Let's break this one down. Just listen.
Well, a Finnish district court has fixed May 2025 for the prosecution to file charges against Simon Ekpa.
Okay.
The pro-Biafra agitator was arrested by law enforcement in the northern European nation. He was subsequently sent to prison by the district court of Paidadham.
You see their language? He was subsequently sent to prison and all those things. I'm keep telling you guys, don't follow these people. Don't follow them. They will say things out of their ass just to keep Nigeria one. But we've already left. You heard from Koiki Media what he said. How Nnamdi Kanu told them that Simon Ekpa is the one. There are some things we shouldn't say now because Nnamdi Kanu is still in the captive. He's still under captive, in the hands of the enemy. These things are things we should wait before we speak on them when he's freed. But unfortunately, because now the Zoom media think they have one up. They think they have one up on us. So it's good just for us to hear what Koiki Media said, to show you where Nnamdi Kanu stands when it comes to Simon Ekpa. But I will not speak on that anymore. I only put that snippet for you all to see and hear and understand that Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu, they are one. Biafrans who are still confused, Here is a man from the Yoruba land, Koiki, who just told you. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times. They had numerous meetings and they discussed. And in all the meetings, Oyendu told them, Simon Ekpa is the one. So when he was saying, I need 100 men, I need 100 men, he prayed to God for 100 men. At the end, when Simon Ekpa came out and said, I will make your job easier because in me, I am 101. And since then, Nnamdi Kanu went about in all his meetings because he knew what was to come. He was going through all his meetings, telling his people to follow Simon Ekpa. He told the Yoruba nation to follow Simon Ekpa. He told Chief Dr. Sunday Igboho, a.k.a. Adeyemo, a man we love so much. He told them in a meeting on numerous occasions to follow Simon Ekpa, not the DOS, not Chinasa Nworu, not Chike Edoziem and all those ones. No, to follow Simon Ekpa. Biafrans, we have gotten our Biafra now. Those who still have one leg in Nigeria, who are scared, who are not too sure. Now, a Yoruba man has just told you, there is something we were keeping. We didn't want it to come out until Nnamdi Kanu is freed. But for the fact that Koiki has come out in the public to say it, then all I can do is to, buttress his answer and let you guys know and break it down. For you guys to know where Nnamdi Kanu stands. For you guys to know who Nnamdi Kanu, appreciates as his disciple. So let's continue with what these Zoom media are saying and just laugh them. And then we shall go straight to Michael Rubin. If you're ready, let's go there. Listen.
Spreading terrorist propaganda on social media. Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, also hinted that his arrest will help in extraditing him to the country.
This idiot here, this fool, he's talking about extraditing Simon Ekpa. Ah, God. If only these guys understand how things work in the Western world. If only they understand. You and I know if we're in that zoo, that hall we are using, they would have shut it down. In fact, the owner of the hall will be in trouble because they will send him to jail and they will break the hall down. That's how Nigeria roll. A place where impunity holds sway. But in the Western world, things are not like that. So this fool here talking about, oh, it's time for them to extradite. No, we want to hear from the federal government, the spokesman of that zoo called Nigeria, the spokesman of Tinubu, the presidency. We want to hear from them. How come they're keeping quiet? How come they're allowing Musa to be the one to speak? No, we want to hear from the spokesperson. Because we don't hold Nigeria for the blockers. They didn't see it coming. They were looking at December 2nd, December 2nd, December 2nd. They didn't see it coming. On the 29th of November, we give them the water. The breaking news when shocked them. You see, they've not seen what is coming. So please ignore the naysayers. We don't pass this stage now. I think very, very soon my broadcast will be about, the future of Biafra. I think that's where I'll be going very soon. Because we have passed this stage now of, trying to explain to people. The next thing now is the future of Biafra. Those in Lagos, those doing business in Lagos, you see how they are burning down your businesses. It is time to discuss the future of Biafra. But without any much further ado, I want us to listen to Michael Rubin. He's an analyst, a foreign analyst from USA. Listen to what he said about Simon Ekpa, about America, Trump, and Nigeria. This is how they roll. Listen to the way he explained what is happening in Nigeria. Something your media, they are scared to speak on. Something the Zoom media, they blame Simon Ekpa for everything. Listen to the way Michael Rubin broke it down. That what is happening in the so-called Southeast, it is the Nigerian military who send their headsmen and all those things to commit murder and mayhem. But the vulnerable ones, they are scared. The 90%, blind and shipples, they are scared to speak truth to power. But don't worry, this freedom will come from diaspora because we Biafrans living in the Western world, we now have the culture of the white man. We have assimilated, imbibed the culture of the Western world. So the way we think, the way we reason is now westernized. And there is no way somebody who has gone through, the Western world will not come back and be acting like an animal. It's impossible. Yes, we may have black skin. Yes, we may have, African names, Biafran names, but intellectually, we have assimilated the ways of the white man. And in the Western world, they are not scared to speak to the power. In the Western world, they will never accept to compromise their stance on their way of life and everything. In the Western world, everyone is equal under the law. In the Western world, there is no bigger I or smaller you. No big man, no small man, no organ, no gate man. In the Western world, when you speak to your manager, you call him by his name. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Jane. Hi, John. Hi, Jake. How you doing, Michael? That is how things are done in the Western world. It's not in a place in Africa where you dobale, you bow down, you prostrate. You want to shake your Oba, you bow down. You want to shake your king, you must kneel down on the floor. Those things are good culturally. But when it comes to the civilized way of doing things, you don't allow those same people to use the culture under politics to subjugate you. That is what is happening in that shithole called Nigeria. You've been conquered by your politicians. They are now gods over you. People that should be your servants. People that should be rendering out a public service. Those in government, they are called public servants. Those in the civil service, they are called civil servants. A servant is a person that renders a service. A servant can never be your Lord and Master. But in that zoo called Nigeria, your politicians, they are now your Lord and Master. Look at the way Wiki is talking that time when you want to beat people who are into real estate. Look at the presidency. Emilokon, Egbekini, while they're all bowing down. They tell you go to court. Your military call you bloody civilians in the 21st century. Here in the Western world, you don't even see your military. When you see them, they are very, very shy because they are not used to being in the public. They are always in their barracks or in a place where, their camp. They don't come out in the public. When you see the Western world military, they are very shy when they see you. They smile from ear to ear when they see you. It's not for you to say, hello, well done, kudos to you. And they are very, very shy. They look timid. But in your zoo, because somebody wear green trouser, then go beat them, slap them, tell them to roll for floor. A shithole country where they treat you guys like slaves. We are telling you guys this, but you guys refuse to understand because your eyes are still, blind. Now I understand why the serpent had to tell Eve to eat that fruit. Because that fruit helped Eve to understand good and evil. In your Bible, you may think, oh, the fruit is a bad thing, but no. No. It's not. For the fact God left that tree in the Garden of Eden, it means at a particular time, you must wake up. At a particular time, dead bones or dry bones must rise again. At a particular time, you must smell the coffee and wake up to your responsibility. That's what happened in the Garden of Eden because they were blind. They were like sheep. They were doing what they had to do. They couldn't decipher. They couldn't have their own, their own self intuition within them to agree or not to agree. They were going with a particular flow. The same way today, we are trying to create the AI so that AI can do things for themselves. That's the ultimate goal. Eating the forbidden fruit. You give the AI, that computer, that system, you give it that software, whatever. You give the robots, the AI robots, you give them the data with hopes that they can now use the data to now decipher within themselves and begin to use it and interpret and communicate with us. That is the hope. That's the essence of artificial intelligence. The intelligence is there, but it is artificial in the sense they are not like us, but they are of us because they came from our own image and likeness. Our data is what we are putting in them, and we hope that over time, they will be able to eat that so-called forbidden fruit where they can communicate with us, do things more smarter because they have all the data in them. That's how this thing works, my people. You must learn how to decipher the Bible. Don't tell me, oh, Eve ate the fruit and her eye became open. And when Adam came, she now told Adam, eat this fruit. Adam now ate. Oh, God, you guys, you are babies. You are babies. You are babies. You know, deaf, dumb, and blind. That's how you roll. But without any much further ado, my people, I want us to listen to Michael Rubin when he speaks on the affairs of Biafra, Nigeria being notorious, and also how Buhari and the rest of them did what they did. How, the government of Trump will change things and Biafra will be recognized. Perhaps not, America being the third country to do so. It means very, very soon things going to happen. So if you are ready, make we hear the man they call Michael Rubin. Then I'll come back. Thank you very much.
Talk to us about issues relating our freedom. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you very much. Let me begin by saying...
Recording in progress.
Let me begin by saying Biafra exists. Biafra exists. When I analyze, it's important to recognize the obvious. It's willful blindness to embrace some of the excuses which the West uses to avoid discussing the autonomy, the freedom, the liberty, and the independence of Biafra. It is not climate change, but deliberate murder. Climate change doesn't hire Fulani gangs to rape and murder in Biafra. The authorities in Abuja do. And we need to recognize that reality. Too often, the State Department, the European Union, the African Union defer to the powerful against the weak. But that's not how human rights work. When it comes to the abuses of the Nigerian government, they must be held to account. When Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Muhammadu Buhari, the former president of Nigeria and a war criminal from the days of the first Biafra genocide, he took Nigeria off the State Department's religious freedom watch list. The United States and all other countries must calibrate our policies towards the reality of the way things are, rather than the way we wish things would be. The fact of the matter is, on any watch list for religious freedom, Nigeria should be on its blacklist. It should be its worst tier, because reality cannot be ignored, nor should human rights of all those in Biafra be swept under the bus. Frankly, if Nigeria spent as much energy hunting the perpetrators of violence against the Igbo as they do pressuring Finland to punish the free speech of Biafra's leaders, Nigeria would be a much better place. Unfortunately, rather than reform, rather than embrace liberty, rather than embrace self-determination, Nigeria seems to embrace transnational repression. And that is why all Biafra activists in Finland should be free. Now, a lot of people will look at Biafra and say, we've never heard of Biafra. That reflects their ignorance and their ignorance of history rather than the necessary reality. But then you will have some naysayers who will say, Why are you declaring independence, redeclaring independence in Finland rather than in Biafra itself? And again, that reflects an ignorance of history for those who might criticize. After all, Czechoslovakia declared its independence in Washington, D.C., right near where I sit now. And no one suggested that the Czechs and the Slovaks didn't deserve their freedom. The fact of the matter is, when one faces a lethal threat and lethal repression, you need to assert your freedom wherever you may be, but that doesn't forfeit your rights to your homeland. So, when it comes to Biafra, what I see is everything being done right. Let me put it this way. Again, I say this as an academic. I've been to many places around the world in which people desire their freedom. I've been to Iraqi Kurdistan, Turkish Kurdistan, and Syrian Kurdistan. And I've written a book where, while I empathize with the Kurds, they are not yet ready for independence because they have not taken the basic steps to form a unitary government that can step into the vacuum on day one and lead their people. That is something that the Biafrans have, a mistake the Biafrans have not made. What I see today with the organization of the Biafrans has been absolutely and completely admirable. You are not simply symbolically declaring independence. You are setting in motion a government which can take over all functions of the government. Now, some people may complain that Biafra now has its own army, and they may say that is a terrorist action. They are wrong. It is the job of any government to monopolize the use of force within its territory. The Nigerian army is the occupying army right now. Its job is not to monopolize the use of force within Biafra, because they have shown when they use force, they use it not for security, but to perpetrate insecurity. They use it to murder, they use it to rape, they use it to charter buses, to bring in militias, so that people, naive people, may believe that they have nothing to do with what is going on in the region. Now, I'm a historian by training, which means I get paid to predict the past. Also, speaking of pay, let me be clear. I am receiving nothing for my advocacy for Biafra. I have been offered nothing. I have demanded nothing, and I am receiving nothing. Nor would it even be legal for me to accept money from anyone. I am speaking only as an analyst and only as someone who wants to further liberty. Now, I ask as a historian, where has it worked to force the victims of genocide together with their perpetrators? Where in history has that ever worked? Aggressors must understand that if they turn to genocide, they will always lose. The fact of the matter is,
Lemfi is a trusted app that allows people in the UK, US, and Canada to send money.
Nigeria lost Biafra in 1967. They may have won the war temporarily, but they permanently lost Biafra. The decisions they made 57 years ago forfeited any rights they have to control, to occupy, to speak on behalf of the people of Biafra. Let me conclude by saying, as an analyst again, I don't think the United States will be the first country to recognize Biafra. But I pray that it won't be the third country either. Biafra to move from Finland and to lobby vociferously, night and day, in order to ensure that the African Union recognizes that Biafra is already more organized, already more capable of statehood, already will have a higher standard of living, already will be at peace with itself and its neighbors more than many other African countries. And therefore, it will be a boon to Africa, a boon to the African Union, a boon to the spread of democracy in the region, an anchor for stability in the region, in an area that is increasingly unstable, especially as people come from the north in order to destabilize. So let me conclude by saying with my very short remarks that I wish I could be with you there today. Family prevented me from coming, but I admire what you're doing, I follow what you're doing, and I pray for what you're doing. Long live Biafra.
Sunshine screams, tales of dreams and bursting seams. In the night where stars might gleam, Biafra's light flows like a stream. Colors bright and sky so wide, dance the beats we can't deny. With the voices ever high, Biafra's heart makes us fly. Welcome to